Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today is Self-Care Sunday. Here we talk about anything that is going to bring you joy, help you grow spiritually and physically, and make you into the best version of yourself. I'm Leyla and let's get into it. So today I was thinking about what video I wanted to create for this Sunday. And as it's a really grey, rainy day outside, I thought, what's the most productive thing, but also self-loving and peaceful thing to do on a rainy day when you can't go outside? And I thought, reading. I am a massive reader of self-care and self-love and self-help, everything self as usual, books, because I really think that if you improve on yourself, then we can help the wider world. So I've got a few books here that we're going to talk about. These books have all affected me personally in a very positive way. Now keep in mind that I read these books over a long period of time, so a couple of years. I'm saying like 6 years or so. So it's not going to be, if you're only just starting on your self-growth, self-help or self-love journey, don't expect to see changes instantly. You will begin to think differently, and you will begin to feel better, and you will begin to question your world. But remember that change can be painful. Unlike the way that Instagram or any social media shows self-love and self-growth as this beautiful, lovely thing, it is actually quite a brutal and dark thing to do. It's quite a scary thing to do because you're peeling back layers and layers of yourself to reveal the truth behind it all. Now, I'm going to talk about the ones that have helped me specifically, and I'm hoping they will help you too, and maybe some of them will tickle your interest, as they say. The books are a mix of spiritual and self-help books. Now, if you're really into business, you might have ended up on this channel and watching this and think, oh, I'm really not interested in this spiritual stuff. Please remember to keep an open mind, because the spiritual stuff helps to work on you in a deeper level, rather than just focusing on what you can get materialistically or how you can look better. Because those things are important too, but you have to begin inside. And these spiritual books, you don't have to be religious, you don't have to be spiritual, but you do have to have an open mind. I'm going to start with The Power of Now. Now, I spoke about this in my first introduction video. This was recommended to me by my dad 5 years ago. So this is the book that started me off on my self-growth and spiritual journey. Before that, I was very into health, and I have always been a very hard worker, always interested in bettering myself and being the best version of who I am. But this is what started me off thinking about, oh, this is what the world really is. So I'm going to try and break it down. So it's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, I'm not sure. But it starts off talking about, so I'll insert clips of what the preface and the context say, but there's quite a lot in there. Now, what you have to keep in mind is with these kinds of books, they take a long time to read because you have to absorb it. I've read this book twice because the first time around it's a bit of a shock, and then the second time you begin to understand it more clearly. So it talks about being in the here and now, obviously the power of now, so about the present moment and how nothing else really exists except for the moment that you are here with yourself in this very second. And I'm grateful for all of you for spending these moments with me. Time is extremely precious, and you should always be grateful for the people who choose to spend their time with you. It's a very, very special thing. I'll read the back because it has been a while since I read this. Hugely successful author Eckhart Tolle guides us through a challenging but extraordinarily rewarding journey to find out the power of now. We learn that we can find our way out of psychological pain. Authentic human power is found by surrendering to the now. The silence and space all around us is one of the keys to entering inner peace. In the now, the present moment, problems do not exist. In the now, we discover that we are already complete and perfect. I feel like that is the perfect summary of what that is, and you definitely get that out of it. So, book number 1. So the second ones that I wanted to talk about, I haven't got the books because I borrowed them from my boyfriend. They're called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz? I can never say these people's names. It's always the last name as well. But I'll insert an image. But these books are incredible. I read them all very, very quickly, I'm not going to lie. There is a series of them. Yeah, so there's a series of them. So The 4 Agreements, A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom. The 5th Agreement, which is reiterating what the other one says, but it's good to read it again. And then it also obviously has an extra 5th agreement, which is another very, very important one. And then The Mastery of Love, which is an incredible one too. It really does change your outlook on life in a positive way. And it gives you freedom from self-limiting beliefs and finding out that true inner core and working through the parts of you that are stopping you from becoming the best you can be. And then the other one is I'm gonna have to remember. It's by Louise. This is one that I would tell everyone to read, especially if you're working on self-love and you want to cultivate self-love. Yeah, it's called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise. I'm sure you've heard about her before if you've ever looked into self-love or anything like that, or self-growth. She's done a few talks here and there, but the book is amazing. It has some exercises in there, which I think is really, really important, because then you can do the exercises and you actually are improving as you go along. Please don't skip the exercises because you can't rush these things, you know? It's not going to go in otherwise. She kind of touches on childhood, so she always goes back to like, so you have this belief, negative belief about yourself, and where did that come from? It's all about questioning these limiting beliefs and this negative self-talk and giving you perspective as to how you should be treating yourself. And that's really led me into the direction of treating myself as a child and taking care of myself in a loving way, the way I would with a small child. And as I used to be, and we all used to be little children, it's very, very important to know how to do that. So yes, that is the other book that I I highly recommend to every single person ever. Okay, so the next one is, I'm sure you've heard of, The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a F scribble scribble K. This is a good book too. I wouldn't say it's like my most life-changing one. But if you get anxious a lot, if you have social anxiety, if you have self-negative talk, this book is very helpful to drop off any kind of, obviously it's not going to go away completely. These books are all about planting the seed, and then you take the action, you think about it, and over time it's going to grow, which is why these things take time. But yeah, if you have anxiety or social anxiety, or you care too much about what other people think and you end up living your life for other people, you're doing everything for other people, read this book. Okay, so the next one is, I'm sure another one you've heard of, You Are a Badass. So this one is by Sincero. This is a really, really great book. I actually heard of it through Annie Jaffrey, I think it's Jaffrey. What is wrong with me? But this I read very quickly. I read it over Easter, so I remember it fairly well. It's very much on, well, I'll read the back because I think that's the most, it's gonna explain it far better than I can. Identify and change the self-sabotaging beliefs and behaviors that stop you from getting what you want. Create a life you totally love and create it now. So it's all about movement and doing it, and she's also written it in a way that's more relatable. Like if you're not really into the whole spiritual stuff, this is a very relatable book. She doesn't go too into the spiritual stuff, and because she feels that way about it a little bit, and she's got a lot of humor, and it's enjoyable to read too. It's not too serious, but also it teaches you the core things that will help you become the best version of yourself through letting go of self-sabotaging beliefs. And it also touches on money as well, so self-sabotaging thoughts and beliefs around money and how you can get better at that. This is the next one, The Celestine Prophecy, James Redfield. So I heard about this a lot. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really understand. I didn't know if it was like a typical spiritual book, but it's not. So it's an adventure book, but it talks about and creates a story around the idea of energy and the energy that is around us. It not only explains it in a spiritual way, but it also explains it in a scientific way, kind of, because he meets scientists on the way, and it talks about coincidences and alignments of what is happening around us. For example, have you ever had a time where you said, oh, that was a coincidence, that was a bit creepy, you know, how, you know, it was too lucky, sort of like, oh, I just happened to bump into this person, this happened to happen. But what it's talking about is that your energy and what is happening around you is creating all these things to happen, and it's not just a coincidence. And it also talks about relationship, the push and pull, and how most people try and suck the energy out of other people because that's what they've learned to do from since they were a child. But then it talks about how you can gain energy from the stuff around you rather than from other people, and then you can give to other people, which means that you will be happier and they will be happier, and you will attract more people into your life, more love into your life because of this. I definitely think this is another read that has changed the way that I think and live, and has made me into a better and happier person. And finally, this is a bit of a different book. It is called How Not to Die. It's a very happy book. It's by Michael Greger, who is an MD, but he's a doctor. He is a plant-based doctor, and he talks all about, I know it's massive, but you don't have to read it all in one go. It talks about all the different diseases and where they come from and how you can prevent them. And then at the back, it has a load of resources and also what to eat and how to truly take care of your body so that it never has to come across disease, so that it is in its optimal health. And I find it, especially if you're into nutrition, health, or anything like that. Also, I think if you are in self-growth, you need to take care of your body. You need to take care of yourself. If you're not taking care of your body health, then how are you supposed to go out and do all these amazing things when your body's not functioning? So if any of those things interest you, this is a great read. So I hope you all enjoyed. It's been a bit of a long video, but yeah, I love these books, and I hope you guys pick one up, whether that's second hand or your friend has one or you buy a brand new copy. I hope you enjoy them, and comment below what you think about them as well. I would love to make some conversation about them and see if you guys enjoyed it. And also it's really interesting to see what different people gain from the same book you read, because we all have a different experience, and that even translates into books. Like, you might read a book and gain something completely different from it than I do. Wait, what? I'm lost. Anyway, you get the picture. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I can't wait to see you next Sunday. Bye.